everybody, thanks for being here. We've got the big Too Faced holiday review coming at you right now. I have their 3 big palettes that they seem to put out every year, like this sort of breakdown of palettes. I'm going to be going through all of them for you in this video, giving you my opinions, which there are many. I don't know how I'm going to fit all this into one video, but it's interesting. I think we do tend to see patterns every year. You know, this is the kind of thing Too Faced puts out for Sephora. This is the thing they put out for Ulta. There's also a little palette collection that comes out in both, and I think Too Faced during the holidays tends to be the brand that is going most toward the holidays with their theme. Although it's not out and out ever like red and green, you know, they still are very Christmassy with the stuff that they're putting out. This year, I don't know, they might be taking steps to make their collection a little bit more relevant over the course of the entire year, but it is a little bit more of a New Year's type theme. There are planners involved in a couple of these collections, guys, and I'm going to tell you right off the bat, you're going to have to decide for yourself whether you like the idea of a planner being mixed in with your makeup collection, or if you think you're going to want to give that kind of thing as a gift to somebody. That's your own call. I'm going to give you some of my opinions in this video, but you're going to have to decide for yourself whether that appeals to you at all. But the outer boxes here are really fun. Each one has a different overall color, but this is the most Christmassy the collection gets, is really to look at the outside and you see like little Santa Clauses and little like decal looking stamps on the outside that kind of make you think of all the stickers that will be on the inside for you to put in your planners. But just to give you a little price roundup here, the most expensive is the Boss Lady Beauty Agenda, and that is $58 at Sephora. Your middle price range set is $49, and that's the Too Faced Best Year Ever, and that's available at Sephora and Ulta. And then your Ulta exclusive set is $42. That's the least expensive of what I'm talking about. But before I forget, I do want to mention one extra thing that I got, and it's the Too Faced Melted Matte Limited Edition Gingerbread Scented Gingerbread Man color here, and I do really like this. We've got actual little gingerbread men there on the cap. Actually, the story of the gingerbread man, if you've got the golden book, it does not end well for the gingerbread man, but I won't go into that. I don't want to bring you down in this video, but scent-wise, I don't know. It's sweet. It's definitely trying to simulate some kind of baked good. I don't think I'd call it gingerbread, but whatever. They're making an effort with that. But the color is so good. I'm loving this like rusty reddish shade. I feel like it looks even a bit more orange, a bit more pumpkin spice in the tube than it does on the lips. I feel like I see a little more red once this goes on my lips and sort of sets. But I fell into this formula for the first time with the Candy Johnson collection. I hadn't tried any of the melted mattes and I was so impressed. I've got another shade on my lips that comes in one of these other kits that I'll explain further. But it's a really nice formula. They kind of set to a point. You can pull a little color off your lips, but they're not drying the crap out of your lips. And they have pretty good even wear, all the ones I've tried. But I like that shade a lot. I love that they put out, you know, a holiday color that wasn't just a straight up red, but something a little different. I like that. And I think it will mesh well with the looks that you can get out of some of these palettes they've put out also. But as I did last year, I think I want to go from my least favorite to favorite in terms of the big palettes. So I'm going to start off talking about the set that is available at both Sephora and Ulta. Again, this is called the Best Year Ever set, and it is $49. This is what your outside box looks like. And then this is the breakdown of what's on the inside. It's going to be 3 separate palettes. Your little bonus will be a mini Better Than Sex mascara. They come in a little makeup bag. Love the idea of the makeup bag as opposed to sitting them in a box that you may or may not want or need to display like in your makeup area. You know how last couple of years these palettes have come in sort of a display box, which was cute, but not really, you know, super needed. This bag says I have way more makeup at home. I love that. I think it's actually a really cute size. It's kind of structured, you know. I do love the color scheme, but this is where it kind of starts to end for me. You've got the mini Better Than Sex mascara. They do these minis of this mascara in so many things, and I've got to say I don't think it's the best representation of this mascara in the mini size. I don't feel like the brush is fully loaded down enough, and when you do the little like kind of swirl the brush within the tube kind of thing, it's so short you really can't pick up any extra product that way. I don't know. I just don't think you're going to see the best of what this mascara can do in the mini size, and even with that being said, I do like the L'Oreal Lash Paradise better. But yeah, you're going to see this thrown into each one of these sets, and I'm not like jumping up and down about it, but it's there. What's inside your makeup bag is just a little plastic tray. In the tray, we have 3 separate palettes, and see what I mean about them not looking overly like Christmassy with this collection. These do have the to and froms, as these little palette collections tend to do on the back, so if you wanted to split these up and give them to different people, you could do that. I feel like the look on the outside of these palettes is very like young. It seems like the kind of thing that, I don't know, might appeal to just a really young girl. I'm not saying I totally dislike them, because I am definitely like a little kid at heart. They have a little bit cheaper look to them than some of the more Christmassy design palettes they've put out in the past. But inside each one of these, they are cardboard style packaging, by the way, no mirror. You're gonna get 6 eyeshadows and a pretty big cheek product. So in one of these, there's the blush, in another, there's a bronzer, and in the other, there's a highlight. One is a sort of rosy collection of shadows, the other one's going to be brownish neutrals, and the last is more of a cool smoky neutral look. Not so impressed by the quality of the shadows, really inconsistent. I think I remember saying this last year, but I felt like the mattes were pretty good all throughout these palettes, but then some of the shimmers would be like kind of sheer here or there and just not making a big statement for me. I'll pop up the swatches of this rosy collection, by the way, or the I Believe in Pink palette. You got a couple of mattes there, one more of a cream, one has a little bit of pink. Pink Rink is a rose gold. Pink Christmas didn't really supply quite enough color for me. Spoiled Rotten is a nice matte shade, and Wish For It definitely really pops among this lineup. Pink Poinsettia, I really wish they would have put in a more neutral, less totally hot pink blush in this set, because I was wearing this the other day and I just really struggled to make it look normal on my cheeks. But I'm really not loving that palette so much. The Natural Beauty one is your collection of brownish tones, and this, don't get me wrong, it's a pretty lineup of shades. I think you look at the swatches and you think, yeah, they're pretty consistent. You're getting a satiny finish bronzer in here, by the way, with Warm My Heart. It's a very common shadow lineup, and maybe that's what you're wanting to gift to somebody. I'd say you're getting 6 pretty decent shades in this one with nothing too surprising or outstanding. Then we hop over to Super Fun Night, and here everything is pretty cool in tone. I do like this Cozy Cashmere shade, that really light pink. Tipsy is sort of interesting because it's a taupey bronze with a little bit of a pink shimmer, so I like that they threw in something that was a little bit different. Oh What Fun and No Peeking. You'll see that some of the shade names do reflect Christmas in these sets, but those are nice quality mattes for sure in here. And Dashing Through the Glow was sort of a, I don't know, okay, decent but not great highlight. It's definitely got some glitter in it, so just be aware of that. So bottom line, if it's a situation where my favorite part of this is the makeup bag, I'd say it's kind of a no-go. I mean, out of all those palettes, I found one really unique shade. Now, uniqueness might not be a huge priority for people when you're thinking about gifting this stuff, but I'm just, you know, pointing out what comes to mind here. I didn't think the quality was absolutely spectacular and consistent, and just the look of things didn't really wow me with that set. Now, with these next couple of sets, we're talking about the Ulta exclusive and the Sephora exclusive, so the most expensive and the least in terms of Too Faced sets this year. I'm a little bit torn on this. I think overall I like this one best, the Sephora one, simply because I prefer the palette. However, I think this one's more giftable. We're getting into planners now. They're putting planners in with both of these. I find one to be more practical and usable and the other to be kind of like a little bit overkill. But this is what the Ulta one looks like. It says wake up, makeup, repeat, best year ever. It's got the cute little tassel. Like, this is an actual legit little, I guess, binder for your planner. Here's the makeup palette. We'll get to that in a second. Here's your Better Than Sex bonus mascara. And then what you could keep in here or take out is this little planner. So this is a small planner. It's gonna be just, you know, paperback here. I'm not a big planner guru. I may not be addressing all of the super key points. We're looking at a monthly planner. So you've got your month laid out here, and then you turn the page and there's the next month. There's not like little day-by-day slots, but for a planner this size, that's kind of this casual, like small, maybe just toss it in your purse, need to jot something down, you know, that works for me fine. There's some areas here in the back where you could write stuff down. A small part of me does resent the fact that I'm doing this video about makeup and I'm going to be spending some time talking about planners, but there are some seasonal makeup looks lined out in the back that you can also do with your palette. And stuff is cute. You know, they point out that it's National Peach Cobbler Day on April 13th. They'll tell you when daylight savings begins. There's some useful stuff in there, and there is a page of really cute stickers. Things that say wake up for makeup, up, but first unicorns, this is gonna be the best day. Like, it's really cutesy stuff. And even as a grown woman, you know, the child in me can enjoy that. There's a little like folder pocket down here, a mirror in there, and a place to put a pen as well. Talking about the palette, again, mirrorless, but we've got 15 shades in here. 15, I think, very practical, very workable shades. 6 matte and the rest are shimmer, except for this one called Why Not up here. This has just a teeny bit of pearl. It's a very interesting shade, but good quality overall with these. Like, I like the shiny shades. I love Workshop down here. Like, that's a great copper, a nice gold. I like this sort of metallic mauve here, and this is a very interesting, like, matte, dusty purple. I love that shade. That's kind of different. Break the Ice is kind of a different shade here because it's a teal with a gold shimmer, and don't be too, like, I don't know, disgruntled by the fact that it's only eyeshadow and they didn't put in, like, bronzer, blush, or highlight. I'm here to say this could be bronzer right here. This can be blush. I've worn it as blush. And this color called White Christmas could be a very intense highlight as well. So it's all on how you look at it. But it's a good palette. I would not feel funny about like gifting this to someone and thinking, well, maybe they won't use any of the colors. Nothing's too wacky in this one. Nothing's too out there. I think it's a very giftable palette. And I find this to be, you know, the most practical way they're putting out their planner thing. It's realistically the kind of thing I might actually use. You know, toss that in my bag, use it when I need to jot something down real quick, an appointment or whatever. It's not too bulky. It's not like taking over my life. You know, I wasn't looking for Too Faced to really fill that void for me. I'm more so looking to them for makeup, but I think this is a like nice little giftable thing. Now, can I also say I don't prefer any of these palettes over the Lorac Mega Pro 4. If we're talking big palettes and just strictly the makeup here, that is my favorite. I would pick that over any of this. But I'm still definitely able to appreciate other things and see things that I still like in other collections, you know, but just to give you a little context here. Your final set, this big one from Sephora that I've been referencing, is the Boss Lady Beauty Agenda. So your outer box has this pink metallic and then these little Christmassy sticker stamp looking things on the outside. Here's a size comparison with the Ulta one. You can see it's much bigger. This one says Wake Up Makeup Repeat on the outside. This one says Don't Let Today Be a Waste of Makeup. They're nice feeling planners, by the way. They're kind of cushiony. Like, they really went there, I feel like, with this planner idea. And I like the tassel too. Nice attention to detail. Same kind of look on the inside of this one. Everything's just bigger and you're getting an actual like hard-backed book for your planner. It's got this little strap on the back that you can flip over the top and keep everything together. They are giving you 2 pages of stickers, just FYI. And guys, this is where I start looking at this thinking, am I really gonna use this? And if I do, this is kind of a commitment. This is kind of gonna take up a lot of room in my purse, but they've got totally inspired by, they've got hashtag goals. Okay, I'm not against goals. They've got just the quick layout of all your months here, reasons to party, place to write down birthdays. I do like that. But the overall theme of every month, there is a look on every month. Okay, so a way that you can use the palette that comes with this. And then there's a cover page for the month. There's a to-do list before every month, and there's a note to self page. But then there's just the calendar, and there's not like a day by day, you know, chunk of space where if I use this in school, like I would write all my assignments or everything I needed to go do on that day. Day to day, you've just got this. I mean, I could fill up the note to self page in one afternoon with something, but like that's all you've got. And then after that month, which just like the other, it points out all the funny little days like National Opposite Day and also the important days like Martin Luther King Jr. Day. But then we go right back into the next month with another look, a cover page, the to-dos, etc. In the back, we do have some blank pages just to write things on, a pretty good chunk of pages. But do you see what I mean when I say this is kind of a big deal, kind of a lot of space, but yet that planner, actual planner wise, is only giving you the month calendars, and wouldn't we want like more space to write things down? At least this is my logic on this. I would want more space to write stuff if I'm going to carry around a planner this big. Let's talk about the makeup. I really like this makeup palette best, despite the fact that I think the planner is a bit overkill. Let's compare the size of the palettes. As you can see, you're getting a lot in this. No mirror. They still can't give us a mirror here, and when you do try to bend it back, it pulls a little bit, but I'm still gonna do it because just just convenience. You've got 24 shadows in this palette, and then highlight, blush, and bronzer. I kind of like that they just made it, you know, boom, here's the stuff. There's not a real fussy palette going on. There's not a lot of like moving parts here. We've just got this as far as the makeup goes. And it's definitely one of the best holiday palettes that Too Faced has put out in a while. Here are the reasons why. There's not a bunch of like flaky fallout type shades. I feel like for whatever reason in years past, they seem to reserve some of those really flaked out shades for their holiday stuff. And maybe it's the mindset that here's something really glitzy you can put on, but those shades I think for the most part are a little bit harder to work with. Here they gave us the really rich mattes. There are some deep, very just sink your teeth into them nice dark mattes in here, but some beautiful jewel tones as well that are in workable textures. That's what's really important, like Trimmed and Party Over Here and Plum Pudding and Christmas Carol. These colors are really easy to work with. They're metallics, but you've got a lot of nice mattes I think to balance them out, like Don't Give a Fudge. I love that shade up here, this nice dark brown. Spiked Cider is going to be a great crease shade for people. The way I swatched these out, I did 2 rows at a time, so let's just dig into the top couple of rows. You've got light highlight shades with Marshmallowed and Snow Day, Christmas Dream, a nice light pink. I adore Spiked Cider and Love Actually. Those are going to be great like mid-tone crease colors for anyone. One, you know, more mauve, one's that nice warm brown, and then Faux Fur Only is a nice little bit deeper brown that also works nicely in the crease. Moving down to the next couple rows, there are some great rich mattes here, and I want to talk about also shades like Give Me Some More. You know, this is a matte with like embedded micro fine sparkle. It's not really any sparkle that you have to be worried about. It's not a super flaky thing, but as far as these mattes like Pinecone and Jolly, those shades, that rich burgundy and the dark teal, they're really nice. Too Faced does mattes very well, and they have certainly worked them into these palettes in some ways you haven't seen them in their other palettes. Halo is absolutely stunning. Deck the Malls is a nice kind of dusty taupey lavender color. Sleigh Bells is a really pretty peach. Fa La 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 is a gorgeous like dark silver. I really like that. And then in our bottom 2 rows, like you really can't deny it, guys, looking at these swatches, these really pretty jewel tones here. And within those brighter colors, you've got Santa's Helper, a rich kind of sparkly shade. Black Tie is like a satin finish, really nice soft black. Not soft in intensity, but soft in texture. I mean, just to the touch, it's really nice and soft. Blessed really goes there as a highlight. Will You Marry Me has much more intensity than you might expect. And then the Chocolate Soleil bronzer, which is a known product in Too Faced line. I like that that's in there. But you see what I mean, guys? They've done a pretty good layout of eyeshadow here. I don't find the colors to be as unique as what's come out in the Lorac Mega Pro 4. I'm just really impressed with that palette. But if you like your neutrals and at the same time you also aren't scared of some jewel tones, you might really like this as well. The thing that just makes me a little bit torn, as I said, is the fact that you've got this great palette in here, but then you're also kind of paying for all this as well. There are a couple extras with this kit too, though. They are giving you the Better Than Sex Mini, and they're giving you a melted matte, which I've been wearing throughout this video in the shade called Sellout. So I believe that's part of the regular line. I love that this is a bonus in here because if you haven't tried this formula, it's really nice, and this is a very all-purpose color. But this is just one of those situations where you kind of got to decide, where do your priorities lie? Would you be the type that would like buy this, keep the palette, and give the planner to someone who would really be interested? I don't know, maybe so. If you're gifting to someone who you know like needs more workable like workday makeup or is new to makeup and doesn't want colors that are quite as out there and bold and colorful as what's in the larger palette, that's why I think the best year ever would be really giftable and easy. Plus it has the little planner, but it's a little more of a practical, realistic planner in my eyes. But as always, I want to give you the look that I did today. I want to show that in a tutorial so you can see these shades going on. I tried to choose some mattes and some bright shades so you can just see what's happening here intensity wise. And I will start with the face colors. So I have my foundation and powder and stuff on. I took the Chocolate Soleil up around the hairline. I used it in the hollows of the cheeks. I'm very familiar with this product. We go back years, so I'm happy with this. I like that this is in here. Will You Marry Me is a peachy blush with a golden shimmer, and it's more intense than you would think. Like the color tone might make you think, oh, I'll just dive into that and put a bunch on my cheeks, but be careful with that because it is very pigmented, but I think it's a beautiful glow. And then #blessed, this is the highlight, and this is really going there for me. Like it's very metallic, a little bit of a champagne tone to it and a very, very micro fine little flecks of shimmer. I don't know that it's really fair to call it glitter, but that highlight is 100% like going for it. Now let's move on to the eyes. I've got them primed with Milani eyeshadow primer, and then I went with spiked cider in the crease. So I used my Sigma E25, got that all buffed out there in my crease, and used the color called Marshmallowed under my brow, a really nice example of a soft, matte, but very pigmented shade. Then I used a little bit of Don't Give a Fudge in my outer corner just to deepen things up a bit more. Then I took Unwrap Me, which is like a soft metallic purple with a little bit of a bluish twist, a little blue tone sheen in this shade, and I patted this all over my lids. I used Halo with a very small brush for a little brightening around the inner corner. And then I really like the look of Plum Pudding with a small brush on the outer corner just to provide a little more contrast between the Unwrap Me shade and the browns that I've got in the crease. I really like that addition there. And then on my lower lash line, I used some Plum Pudding as well, and I used Party Over Here, which is this great like rich gold, kind of a mix of gold and bronze, and I used that all throughout the lower lash line. Finished the look with some winged liner. I popped on the Better Than Sex mascara, so you can see that going on. As I've said, I don't think the mini size is really the best ambassador, you know, for this mascara. I don't think enough comes out on the brush, really. But I've got it on. I wanted you to see that going on and see what it does on the lashes. And then I chose to pop on some false lashes for some extra glam here. These are Cream, I believe is the brand, and it's number 43. You got them real cheap on iKate House. And then that lip color in Sellout, my goodness, this is a great shade. This would work so well with so many looks, even more, you know, bold looks on the eyes. I love that it's kind of a deep nude, deep kind of rosy with a little bit of brown. Great shade to include. So guys, that's my full wrap up on the Too Faced holiday stuff right now. There might be some other like little stocking stuffer type things that they have, but as far as their big sets go, this is basically what we're looking at. And again, I was a little underwhelmed, well, quite a bit underwhelmed, I would say, by their 3 palette set that came in the makeup bag, the first one I talked about. Didn't think that was so great. The Ulta exclusive, I think is the most practical, very wearable, very giftable. But the Sephora set, you know, that palette really does speak to me in terms of these colors. I like the jewel tones. I like the dark mattes that are in here. I think it's one of the better holiday palettes that Too Faced has put out. But lumped in with that, you got a big old hardcover planner and quite a large binder to put it in as well. Might make people all the more excited to buy this, or might be kind of like, I don't need that. You'll have to be the judge. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope it was useful, and I'll see you soon. Bye.